Pushkin. We spend hours deciding what to buy, but there's a split-second decision that can make or break a sale. Do you have the trust to hit buy now? Agentic commerce is testing that moment more than ever. And that's where PayPal comes in. With 25 years of checkouts, 400 million consumer accounts globally, and the benefit of purchase and seller protection, all of which make sure wherever a purchase starts, it ends with trust. Built for payments, growth, and agentic. PayPal Open, built for all business. Visit paypalopen.com.
Purchase and seller protections on eligible transactions only. Terms apply. See paypal.com/risk-management for details.
Whatever your goal, trade, show, giveaways, client gifts, or team gear, 4imprint has the promo products to match. With thousands of options, from apparel and drinkware to tech and totes, it's easy to find the right fit for your brand and budget, with standout choices at every price point. And with their 360-degree guarantee, you can be 4imprint certain your order will show up just right on time. Explore more at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain. Liberty was never just a word. It has guided every American endeavor for the past 250 years. And now it takes form in a new way. The 2026 Semi-Quincentennial Coin and Medal Program from the United States Mint celebrates the founding ideals that have long shaped our coinage. Available 1 year only, this historic collection features new coin designs, limited edition releases, and reissues. Shop new official coins at usmint.gov/semiq. That's usmint.gov/SEMIQ. Are we all here?
So there's 35 people here now. Well, 36. So we're getting close.
Okay. Thank you. Every Wednesday afternoon, Pushkin Industries, the company that brings you this and many other audio delights, has a staff meeting. And not long ago, I asked if I could take over the meeting for a frank discussion of a very delicate subject: laundry. Now, I know there's been a lot of chatter around this podcast episode of mine, and there's two questions I keep hearing. One is there a right answer? And the answer is, of course there's a right answer. There's always a right answer with revisionist history. We're on Zoom. I can see all these faces looking at me, wondering, where on earth am I going with this? Is there going to be laundry shaming? And the answer is yes. But the person being shamed is me. The whole reason I'm doing this episode is I became aware that my laundry practices were sorely deficient, and I wanted to understand why. I'm going to pick on a couple of people who were generous enough to share their detergent preferences with me, and I'm going to ask them a few short questions. John Schnars, maybe we should start with you. John Schnars, Pushkin's Vice President of Business Development, sensitive, highly evolved modern male, father to many small children. Do you have a top-loading or front-loading washing machine?
Top.
Oh, interesting. Do you have the piston that comes up?
I thought it's called a agitator, I believe.
By this point in my research, I knew a lot about washing machines. And top-loading machines are, well, they're not good. I was embarrassed for John. A senior officer of Pushkin should know better. Let's skip to Carrie. Carrie,
I'm here. Thank you.
Carrie Colin, one of our top people making audiobooks. Whip smart. If anyone could teach us something, it would be Carrie. Also, she's a mom, does a lot of laundry. What's your temperature use? Do you vary temperature?
I vary temperature based on instructions.
What are those? So tell me those particular protocols.
Well, actually, I'll back up. I go on normal wash. And so my washer will tell me if I just say normal, it does its boop, 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 boop. And then it comes out with whatever.
You defer to the machine.
I defer to the machine unless there's something that I think I'm supposed to pay special attention to in there.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Been very helpful. What was I thinking? Looking back, I don't know. I didn't really explain myself. I just crashed the staff meeting to ask people about their laundry habits in the hopes that the senior Pushkin leadership would teach the younger people on our team something about how to conduct themselves in the world. What it means to be mindful, purposeful, environmentally conscious, to lead with empathy, to lean in. And when I didn't hear that, I felt betrayed. I want to check in with Brendan. Are you out there?
Yeah.
You are a ECOS, I see.
Yeah.
Brendan Francis Newnham, another of our top people. If you Google the words Brooklyn, natural wine, farmers market, vinyl records, and whatever other affiliated terms show up automatically in the search field, you get Brendan. ECOS. An eccentric choice. First of all, top loader, front loader?
Laundromat.
Nice.
Laundromat.
Oh. Old school. Thank you.
Yeah.
And do you separate?
I do, yeah.
And what's your system for separation here?
I do darks and lights.
Yeah. Do you wash them under different protocols?
Yes. I do my whites, I do hot water.
Yeah.
And then my darks, I do warm water.
You do your whites in hot water?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's all.
I also add bleach into my whites with my ECOS.
No. Brendan, that's all. I've heard enough. Here I thought that Pushkin was, in laundry terms, the shining laundromat on the hill. And it's not. But that's okay. Actually, it wasn't okay. My name is Malcolm Gladwell. You're listening to Revisionist History, my podcast about things overlooked and misunderstood. This episode is about an odyssey I embarked upon in the darkest days of the pandemic. An odyssey which ended in me shaking my head at my fellow Pushkinites over their laundry room conduct, even though I knew, deep down, that I was no better than they were. Where do you go when you've become consumed with questions of clothes and laundry and detergent? The answer is obvious. You go to the north side of Cincinnati, about a 15-minute drive from downtown, to an industrial zone with a cluster of 19th century granite buildings, the Procter & Gamble Fabric and Home Care Innovation Center, the research arm of Procter & Gamble, the consumer products giant which makes basically everything in your broom closet, your laundry room, and your medicine cabinet. I went there one snowy winter's day to meet a guy named Todd Klein. Are you a chemist by trade?
So I studied chemical engineering. So close to a chemist, yeah.
Todd is maybe my age, kind of intense, wiry runner's build. He and I actually ran 8 miles the night before through downtown Cincinnati, over the bridges, along the riverfront, up through Grant Park, which I realized later is a very Todd Klein thing to do. Put the visitor through his paces. And have you been at P&G your whole life, your whole career?
I have been, and it feels like my whole life because I've been here 25 plus years now. So I started on Metamucil, which at that time was positioned as a supplement for laxative. So I was, the 22-year-old single guy coming out of school, and they said, "You're working on Metamucil." It's like, doing what? And it is still one of my favorite things I've ever worked on.
Klein worked on re-engineering the formulation to make it more palatable. Then he was assigned to the painkiller Aleve. Then Folgers Coffee, back when Procter still owned those brands. At Procter, they liked to move people around. And after that, he was posted to Swiffer.
So my team was doing Swiffer WetJet, which I don't know if you've seen those. It's a mop that you push a button, solution sprays out, and there's a pad that collects all the dirty solutions. So you've got the mop part, then you've got a separate solution on putting out something that will both help dissolve soils, break up soils, but not leave streaks on the floor, and also leave a nice scent.
There are few greater pleasures in life than discovering that something once considered uninteresting is actually incredibly interesting.
You're trying to get both scrubbing on hard things suck up solution and then hold it there, because you're sucking up dirty solution and you don't want it going back down on the floor. So we actually use the same polymer inside the pad that we use in diapers to hold the urine. With mops, a lot of times when you're mopping floors, you're sloshing dirty water around a lot. Yeah. And with Swiffer, you actually suck it up and it holds it there.
Metamucil, Aleve, Folgers, Swiffer. The Maslow's hierarchy of consumer products. I will warn you, about halfway through this episode, you'll say to yourself, wow, Malcolm really fell hard for those Procter & Gamble people, didn't he? Let me just address that issue now, before things get out of hand. Yes, I did. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp's 2026 State of Stigma report surveyed 2,000 Americans and revealed that 85% of Americans believe getting support is wise, yet 74% say society discourages people from doing so. This makes no sense, right? If you have a toothache, society doesn't discourage you from seeing a dentist. If your car breaks down, society doesn't discourage you from seeing a mechanic. If your heart is literally broken, as in not functioning, society doesn't discourage you from seeing a cardiologist. But if your spirit is broken, if you're struggling with some burden, society says you don't deserve help. I think it's time to end this self-defeating contradiction. Your spirit is not less worthy of our concern than your heart or your teeth or your car. Which brings me back to BetterHelp. BetterHelp has quality therapists. They work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully licensed in the U.S. Don't let stigma stand in the way of support. Start therapy with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Gladwell. That's better, HELP.com/Gladwell. We spend hours researching products online and deciding what to buy, but there's a split-second decision that can make or break a sale. Do you have the trust to hit the Buy Now button? The way we discover and compare things is evolving, happening faster, and influenced by new forms of intelligent advice. But the underlying trust question doesn't go away. If anything, it's more important than ever. That's where PayPal comes in. For more than 25 years, they've been a trusted way to pay. And now PayPal can make the agentic era of commerce work for merchants, letting them maintain control of their brand, their customer relationships. So even as the way we shop changes, the moment that matters most still feels familiar and deeply dependable. Built for payments, growth, and agentic. PayPal Open, built for all business. Visit paypalopen.com to get started.
Purchase and seller protections on eligible transactions only. Terms apply. See paypal.com/risk-management for details.
Whether you're planning a big event, launching a new campaign, or just stocking up on team gear, finding the right promotional products makes all the difference. That's why so many brands turn to 4imprint. They offer thousands of options, from on-trend apparel and premium drinkware to tech, totes, and giveaways, so you'll find the right fit for any audience, purpose, or budget. You can customize it all: your logo, your message, your look, and many items come with no setup charge to help you save. And if you're really watching the bottom line, you'll find standout choices at every price point, so you can make a real impact while staying on budget. Plus, you'll get expert help, fast turnaround times, and their 360-degree guarantee, so you can be 4imprint certain your order will arrive on time and look exactly right. Whatever your goal, 4imprint makes it easy to find your perfect promo match. Explore the possibilities today at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain. I was raised in a household in the 1970s where my father used a handsaw to cut all the wood for our wood stove because he refused to use a chainsaw. I think he considered chainsaws decadent. My mother, meanwhile, in the dead of winter, would bundle up in a parka like an Eskimo and hang the family's laundry outside on a clothesline because she disapproved of dryers. These are my people, my heritage. People who dwelt on the particulars of their domestic conduct. At some point, in the midst of the COVID lockdown, I reflected on my own domestic practice. What do? I go down to my basement and I throw my clothes heedlessly into my shiny red LG washing machine, grab whatever detergent I can from a row of random bottles on the shelf. Mindless consumption of huge amounts of hot water, chemicals, and electricity without so much as a stray thought to my intentions. We like to think it doesn't matter, these little things, but there are 25 billion loads of laundry done every year in the United States and Canada. That's 25 billion. The little things add up. So there in my basement on laundry day one evening, I resolved to do better. And off I went in a blinding snowstorm to Cincinnati to see Todd Klein, P&G's North American Fabric Care section head for research and development. In Hindi, there is a word for an opportunity or occasion of seeing a holy person, darshan. I requested a darshan with the guru of American laundry. We began our tour in a long room full of washing machines, what looked like at least 100 of them, front loaders, top loaders, big industrial strength Maytag machines, Japanese washing machines, which I'd never seen before, and which are so wonderfully and perfectly Japanese that I felt like grabbing my laundry and jumping on a plane to Tokyo.
I think the Japanese machine would be like more complex.
Very cool, yeah.
This thing looks like it could fly to the moon.
Each of the 100-plus machines in that long room was linked to a network of black pipes, which allowed the Procter people to mimic the typical temperature, water hardness, chlorine concentration of every major water system where Procter & Gamble detergents are sold. You want to simulate how a Tide POD washes whites in Reykjavik in a late model LG front loader? They can do that. How many people work just in this facility in R&D for detergents?
Oh, wow. At least a couple of hundred.
All those people for the past decade or more have been focused on the question of how we could do our 25 billion loads of laundry in a more environmentally friendly way. They began with a comprehensive statistical analysis of the carbon footprint of every input in the laundry process. Raw materials in the detergents. Do they have a big carbon footprint? Actually, not really. Manufacturing. Every Tide plant now runs on wind power. Transportation and packaging. Pretty insignificant, particularly if you're talking pods in a recyclable tub, which are highly concentrated and easy to ship. The environmental impact of a load of laundry turns out to be driven by what we, the people at home, do. Klein showed me a chart with all the calculations.
And when you look at the carbon footprint, you can see that the product use phase is by far.
It's everything. Product use is industry jargon for your laundry ritual. So it's what percent is that?
2/3.
2/3.
Yeah, it's close to 70%. And what that is the energy to heat the water when people do laundry. If someone chooses to use cold instead of warm, it's a 70% reduction in energy in the use phase. So you have a huge shrinking here. If they choose cold versus hot, it's a 90% reduction in energy.
Cold water washing is the holy grail of the laundry business. Washing your clothes in cold water means colors don't run. Your clothes last longer, you save a lot of money, and you shrink your carbon footprint massively. But it's a lot harder to get your clothes clean in cold water. The chemical reactions between detergent and stain slow down dramatically as the temperature drops. This is what the detergent experts at the Innovation Center do. They try to solve this problem.
So surfactants, we use a blend of surfactants.
What is a surfactant?
A surfactant, they're really the workhorse of the detergency, and they're a material that goes in and it basically helps roll the stains off of the clothing. So they penetrate into the clothing and under and lift up and capture the stain, almost encapsulate it, and help bring it out into the water.
Then there are enzymes to break down the stain into smaller pieces.
So we have specific enzymes we have protease that goes after protein-based stains. Amylase goes after starch-based stains. Mannanase goes after more gelatin, manna type stains. And we develop enzymes that are formulated specifically for cold water.
He went on. He talked about special antioxidants, something called chelants, the challenge of removing body odor from T-shirts. Klein made the point over and over that the only way for a detergent to be environmentally friendly was if it's effective in cold water. And the only way it could be effective in cold water is if it's designed to the most exacting of specifications.
When you're washing your clothes, surfactants and polymers and enzymes are there to get the soil off of your clothes. But when they come off, your clothes are swashing around in this water. So you pull everything off, and then your clothes are
circulating in the dirty water.
Exactly. So the other polymer we use is there to prevent the dirt from redepositing back onto your clothes.
The most environmentally sustainable detergent is, by definition, the most sophisticated detergent. You can't limit your carbon footprint without putting an army of engineers and bench scientists on the job. But just spend a few minutes online reading detergent rankings on environmental websites. The importance of water temperature almost never comes up. Instead, it's all about simplicity. I mean, just listen to this, picked at random from the mountain of laundry advice on the internet. The 8 best green laundry detergents of 2021 from something called The Spruce. Ready? Best budget. Ecos liquid laundry detergent, the kind that Brendan uses. Remember him? Brooklyn Brendan. Ecos boasts that their liquid detergent is made from plant-based ingredients, as if they're telling us it's safe enough to drink. Meanwhile, the site earthfriendlytips.com writes glowingly of something called Molly's Suds.
Molly's Suds is one of the best eco-friendly laundry detergents because it was developed to be earth-safe and people-safe. It contains no chemical-based sudsing ingredients. Instead, it's formulated with only 5 earth-derived ingredients.
Only 5 earth-derived ingredients. What does that even mean? Even the name makes no sense. Molly's Suds. As it happens, suds are the problem in laundry.
High-efficiency machines have sensors that at the end of the rinse cycle sense, are there any suds left or not? And if there are, they'll do an extra rinse cycle. So you'll use extra water.
If you're a detergent company that wants to be seen as green, you don't call out suds in your name. You boast about all the sophisticated engineering advances you've made to suppress your suds. The biggest question the environmentally conscious consumer should be asking is, which detergent will allow me to do as many as possible of my laundry loads in cold water? Todd Klein has devoted years of his life to answering that question.
We do a lot of technical testing. Maybe you can step over here.
He led me over to a counter where he had a series of Hanes T-shirts in both 100% cotton and cotton poly blend. On each shirt, there was a grid of little circular stains. And wait, you've got Nescafe coffee, grape juice, and blueberries, and then gravy, blood, and U.S. clay, and then barbecue, Hershey's. What's that? What's GCS?
Chocolate.
Oh, just chocolate.
Yep.
And French's mustard. So we have a grid of 9 stains.
Yep. And here's rice starch and soy milk, as well as these 2 that say sebum. Those are body soils.
Yeah.
So we will use stain sets like this. They're technical stains, so they're designed not to be fully removed when we do it. And we use spectrophotometry to measure what % of each stain is removed.
Yeah.
But what you can see here is this is Tide on cold relative to the competitor.
The Tide in question was Tide Hygienic Clean Pods. The competitor was one of the other best-selling detergents on the market. Klein wouldn't tell me what it was. The competitor washed the stain grid on warm. The Tide Hygienic Clean washed the stain grid on cold. He held up the results.
You can see particularly with
the
gravy, blood,
barbecue, and Hershey's, Tide totally wins. It looks like it's even on blueberries, clay, and French's mustard.
It's closer. On mustard, it's either a tie or they may actually win on the mustard. It's a pH-driven stain. The rest of them, when you look at the statistics and the spectrophotometer results, we actually have significant wins there as well.
The laundry wizards have given us a way to save money, save our clothes, and save the environment. But is that what we do? No, we do not. In America, less than half of all laundry loads are cold water. When it comes to our laundry, we are a nation divided. And who was in the hot and warm half? The dumb half? The laundry basket of deplorables. Malcolm Gladwell, who likes to wag his finger at other people over their ethical lapses and fancies himself the paragon of science-based, open-minded rationality. Physician, heal thyself. We spend hours researching products online and deciding what to buy, but there's a split-second decision that can make or break a sale. Do you have the trust to hit the Buy Now button? The way we discover and compare things is evolving, happening faster and influenced by new forms of intelligent advice. But the underlying trust question doesn't go away. If anything, it's more important than ever. That's where PayPal comes in. For more than 25 years, they've been a trusted way to pay. And now PayPal can make the agentic era of commerce work for merchants, letting them maintain control of their brand, their customer relationships. So even as the way we shop changes, the moment that matters most still feels familiar and deeply dependable. Built for payments, growth, and agentic. PayPal Open, built for all business. Visit paypalopen.com to get started.
Purchase and seller protections on eligible transactions only. Terms apply. See paypal.com/risk-management for details.
Whether you're planning a big event, launching a new campaign, or just stocking up on team gear, finding the right promotional products makes all the difference. That's why so many brands turn to 4imprint. They offer thousands of options, from on-trend apparel and premium drinkware to tech, totes, and giveaways, so you'll find the right fit for any audience, purpose, or budget. You can customize it all: your logo, your message, your look. And many items come with no setup charge to help you save. And if you're really watching the bottom line, you'll find standout choices at every price point so you can make a real impact while staying on budget. Plus, you'll get expert help, fast turnaround times, and their 360-degree guarantee so you can be 4imprint certain your order will arrive on time and look exactly right. Whatever your goal, 4imprint makes it easy to find your perfect promo match. Explore the possibilities today at 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain. Liberty was never just a word. It has guided every American endeavor for the past 250 years. And now it takes form in a new way. The 2026 Semi-Quincentennial Coin and Medal Program from the United States Mint celebrates the founding ideals that have long shaped our coinage. Available 1 year only, this historic collection features new coin designs, limited edition releases, and reissues. Shop new official coins at usmint.gov/semiq. That's usmint.gov/SEMIQ. When I got back from Cincinnati, I called up my old friend, Didi Gordon. We ride again.
We ride again, as always.
Some of you may remember Didi. She appeared in the revisionist history episode Free Brian Williams from season 3. I've known her forever. When I first met her, she lived in a fabulous mid-century house right by the Hollywood sign in Beechwood Canyon. I used to house sit there whenever Didi went off on her annual trips to Japan. I got to take care of her dog, Sage. I miss Sage. Didi now runs a boutique consumer research outfit called the Gordon Company. You go to Didi when your brand has a problem and you've run out of answers. I think Didi's a genius. Just to be clear, the reason we're doing this is that I was astonished and ashamed to learn that I had been washing my clothes on warm and hot all these years when I could have had better results on every dimension if I'd washed them on cold. And so I wanted to understand not just where I went wrong, but I wanted to understand who are these people who I should be emulating, who saw the truth before I did.
You always start your conversations that way. I'm obsessed. I need to understand, what is it about these cold water people that I'm not getting? Why am I not like these people? Tell me. You need to tell me. So
I was disturbed.
I was like, okay.
I was disturbed.
You were so disturbed.
Now,
you were disturbed.
I'd given Dee Dee a job, the kind her company does all the time, consumer interviews and analysis. I asked her to find me some dedicated cold water laundry people, figure them out, report back. Dee Dee's team did hours and hours of interviews with scores of people. And now I was getting the report.
And we asked them all different types of questions about their attitudes and beliefs around laundry and detergent and brands and their process. We asked them about, what makes them tick. And we also watched some of them do their laundry. And they walked us through their process of doing laundry. And then we had a post-interview with them as well. Mm-hmm. It was really interesting. Really interesting. I mean, these people that we talked to really love doing laundry. I mean, they love it.
There was one interviewee in particular that Dee Dee wanted me to listen to. I'll call her Janet.
She's a laundry master. She hires a nanny to watch her kids so that she can go do the laundry.
I love that so much. It was fantastic.
Okay. I mean, let's get real here. I mean, that's some serious laundry love.
Janet was maybe in her 40s or early 50s, single mom of 3, successful entrepreneur. God knows how Dee Dee found her. She played me tape of Janet talking with one of the Gordon Company analysts, Tom.
Let's see if one of your best friends was going to describe you to me, who doesn't know you at all. How would they describe your personality and sort of what your passions and interests are?
Okay, so I've been called an angel and a heart of gold. I will help pretty much anyone who needs help. I would also think they would say energetic, all over the place, world traveler pre-pandemic, and just a very nice person and a good mom with good values.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then some would say, yeah, she's a little crazy.
Janet talks about the television shows she watches, the car she drives, how much she loves to garden. Then we get to the good stuff.
I'm a little neurotic about the laundry. I'm not too neurotic about too many things, but when it comes to laundry, I like to buy good things. I dressed my children from the time they were tiny in, beautiful things. I would never use like a bargain brand of detergent. For sure, there's a difference. I would send sometimes the girls to the supermarket, and a number of times they bought the store brand. And I tried it, and
it wasn't satisfying.
Really garbage.
Janet's the kind of consumer that Dee Dee lives for.
I just loved her. I loved the attention to detail. There was just every word. There was just so much. She just delivered so much.
But the truth is, all the cold water users were like that. All the people Dee Dee interviewed, detail-oriented and driven.
These people were disciplined. So, when we asked them about their washing machines, they could rattle off the year they purchased it, the cubic foot capacity, the number of settings, all of that without ever having to look at anything. There was no manual sitting on the side there. They were just able to rattle all of that off. Really impressive. No, I know they're superhuman is really what they are. The cold water users are superhumans.
Dee Dee, why is it a question? If we're interviewing someone to work at Pushkin or the Gordon, why aren't we asking the question, how do you do your laundry? And if they say, I've been doing cold water for 5 years, why don't we just say, well, we don't need to ask anything else.
honestly, it's got to be part of the vetting from now on. Like, this is a vetting question across the board. I mean, they should be doing the same thing with our politicians. Like, I want to know if these people are washing in cold water. I bet you Kamala Harris is a cold water user. You better believe she's a cold water user.
Wait, let's think about that. She probably is. I'm serious, actually, because
I'm serious too.
She's half Indian, half Jamaican. Those are two cold water laundry cultures. Right? You know, when my mom was growing up in Jamaica, they weren't washing their clothes in hot water, washing in cold water. So they start with the presumption of cold. In what other area of life can you level up so easily? I could just set the default settings on my washer to cold and get to be a better version of myself. Like Kamala or Janet. Focused, passionate Janet.
I'm going to say a year or two ago, I was reading an article about, what you can do for the planet and saving energy and bringing down your bills and stuff like that. And they talked about cold water washing. And I said, well, that's like the simplest change I can make.
At the end of my day in Cincinnati, I met up with Amy Craybill, brand vice president at Procter & Gamble for North American Laundry. We talked about laundry, but very quickly our conversation turned to dishwashing, laundry's domestic cousin. Somewhere at Procter & Gamble, there is a parallel universe of dishes and dish powders and rooms full of dishwashing machines undergoing the same scrutiny given to our laundry.
Our friends over at Cascade found that people think that it wastes water and energy when you run your dishwasher. And so they'll wait to run a load because they think it's wasteful. But actually, as long as you have 8 dishes, running the dishwasher every night uses less energy and water resources than running the sink for 2 minutes, which I know I would do normally.
Wait, run it by again. As long as you have 8, did you say 8 dishes?
Yes.
Using it, the dishwasher takes less energy and less water than running the sink
for 2 minutes.
Yet another entry on the list of things I didn't bother to care about. 2 minutes?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That is super interesting.
Yes, and counterintuitive. Because you would think a big machine has a lot of energy and water.
Yeah.
But many of these manufacturers are also making those dishwashers more energy efficient too.
Can you settle for me the age-old question of whether you have to rinse your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher? Do you know, this is to me the central issue, because you can spend as much water on the pre-rinse as you do on the actual washing.
Now, settled, you do not need to rinse your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher if you use Cascade.
Cascade, the product of many, many millions of dollars of cutting-edge research designed to remove tomato sauce and butter and gravy from your plates. Not some budget eco brand with 3 ingredients that does such a lousy job you end up running the dishwasher twice or giving up on the dishwasher entirely and freelancing with the hot water on max while the planet burns up outside. Really?
Really.
That's huge. That changes everything.
It changed my life.
Revisionist History is brought to you by Procter & Gamble. No, I'm kidding. Procter & Gamble did not pay for this episode. I fell for them all by myself. Revisionist History is produced by Mia LaBelle, Lee Mengistu, and Jacob Smith, with Eloise Linton and Anna Naim. Our editor is Julia Barton. Original scoring by Luis Guerra, mastering by Flawn Williams, and engineering by Martine Gonzalez. Fact-checking by Amy Gaines. Special thanks to the Pushkin crew, Heather Fain, Carly Migliori, Maya Koenig, Daniela Lacan, Maggie Taylor, Eric Sandler, Nicole Morano, Jason Gambrell, and of course, Jacob Weisberg. I'm Malcolm Gladwell. If you love this show and others from Pushkin Industries, consider becoming a Pushnik. Pushnik is a podcast subscription that offers bonus content and uninterrupted listening for $4.99 a month. Look for Pushnik exclusively on Apple podcast subscriptions. Monday is laundry day in the Gladwell household. As we speak, clothes are circulating in cold water in hygienic clean pods. As we speak.
We already know Kamala's using it, no doubt. We are convinced that Kamala Harris is using Tide Cold Water Clean.
I know she is. We spend hours deciding what to buy, but there's a split-second decision that can make or break a sale. Do you have the trust to hit buy now? Agentic Commerce is testing that moment more than ever. And that's where PayPal comes in. With 25 years of checkouts, 400 million consumer accounts globally, and the benefit of purchase and seller protection, all of which make sure wherever a purchase starts, it ends with trust. Built for payments, growth, and agentic. PayPal Open, built for all business. Visit PayPalOpen.com.
Purchase and seller protections on eligible transactions only. Terms apply. See paypal.com/risk-management for details.
If your finance team spends more time finding data than using it, if there's one entity here and one there and one here and one there, if scaling your business feels like starting over, you need the Intuit ERP. Intuit Enterprise Suite is the AI-native ERP solution that's powerful, painless, and proven. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
A BetterHelp ad. Have you ever had so many tabs open that your computer starts slowing down? 10 for work, 5 for family, 1 for that thing you've been meaning to figure out. 20 more are running quietly in the background. Life can feel like that too. According to BetterHelp's 2026 State of Stigma report, 85% of Americans say getting support is a smart thing to do. Yet 74% say society still discourages people from asking for help. And more than 3 in 4 Americans reported symptoms of anxiety or depression in the past 2 weeks. Therapy can help you sort through what's taking up space and attention. With BetterHelp, you can connect with a licensed therapist online on your schedule. You'll be matched based on your needs, and you can switch therapists anytime. In fact, 69% of BetterHelp users showed meaningful improvement in anxiety and depression. Maybe it's time to close a few tabs. Visit BetterHelp.com. That's better, HELP.com,